If we're achieving 20 new users off a set criteria of data, and we want to increase that to 40 users, we now know how much we need to do to increase that end result. Most MSPs are founded by tech people just like myself. So let's talk about my journey as a salesperson. We focus too much on the technical, the blinky lights, the fixing the burning fire, fixing the issue in technical. But actually, the only way we're going to grow our business is us talking about it. How do we become passionate and comfortable in this sales process? So let's look at a repeatable sales engine. People talk about picking up the phone and calling people is dead. People don't want to be called anymore. I think that is actually not correct. I had a great success in people calling outbound, speaking and interrupting people, and it's all about the timing. And this I started myself. So think about a technical person that's an introvert, now picking up the phone and just having a conversation. And that's how I grew the business from day one. Then I passed that on to an individual that became our BDM that did that for a number of years. So what are we talking about when we talk about a BDM? What we want to do is pick up the phone and stop them in their tracks. So you've got to have some sort of quick thing that you're going to introduce yourself, even maybe say that this is a call to try and get them over the line so you can talk to them a bit further. Then what we're going to do is always ask the open-ended questions. And guess what? Wait for the full answer. Often what we do is we ring 20 people, one person wants to talk to us, and we get so excited that we want to just talk more. We want to make sure that they are the ones that are talking the most on that call. So you need to ask open-ended questions and listen to the result. What I was taught by one of my mentors is ask 5 questions before we give an answer. That is totally relatable in this topic. What we want to be doing is asking an open-ended question. When they give you the answer, which may be the pain, ask a following open-ended question to ask some more. Dig in on that. Understand it more before you go for that kill and ask them, can we talk about this more in a meeting? Key thing though as well is, we wrote here, booking a follow-up meeting. That is one of the key things of that call. But you could have other criteria that you want to achieve in nurturing this prospect through the flow. We could be looking for who is the contact we need to talk to, when are their end dates, who is the IT person. But ultimately, the number one thing is we want to have a follow-up meeting, and we want that in person with the correct stakeholders. We don't want to go into a meeting and find out we're not speaking to the person that is actually going to make the decision. Then we're looking at consistency. What I see a lot, and I do this myself, is we get quick rewards. So we do this process, we get 5 prospects. We then get busy with those prospects and sorting out the fires. So everything else in the start of this process stops. This is something we cannot do in sales and marketing. Consistency beats everything. If you think you're going to do it 5 days a week, cut that down to maybe, one of the terms, eat that frog, and do it for half an hour every day of the week. That consistency will get more rewards than doing it for 1 week, stopping for 3 months, and trying to start that engine back up again. We want a constant flow, a constant improvement flow that we can work with and monitor those numbers to make sure we get consistent numbers coming into the business and achieving the growth that we wanted. Then we're going to track those numbers, making sure we've got consistency on what we're tracking. Some key topics here, we want to be tracking the whole key journey that we're going through. So from the first call, how many calls do we make? Then how many meetings do we make? Then how many opportunities do we make? How many follow-ups do we make? And how many wins do we get or losses out the back of that? Then we can track this all the way back, and it's especially key when we want to be thinking about what's the growth we want from our business. If we're achieving 20 new users off a set criteria of data, and we want to increase that to 40 users, we now know how much we need to do to increase that end result. If you're a techie like me and you want to learn more about sales and especially BDM outreach, check out our blog. The link will be above or below.